So I'm also a longtime friend of the con. I've been doing this since it was in the basement of Our Lady of the Lake, which is why I was entrusted with the level of power to open up the floor, to let people ask me stuff. Background about me, I am a social media manager and writer professionally. I do have a degree in something, and I did go to a school that doesn't disappear in the night. I say these things not because I'm an elitist, but because I come from a generation of panels and panelists that you should probably actually know what you're talking about before you get on stage, because this is a big deal. So this is an Ask Me Anything if you don't know how those work because you've avoided parts of the internet. It is a literal Ask Me Anything. I do have the rights to turn down questions. Since it's only a couple of you, you can ask as many as you want. Again, the worst case scenario is you ask me something and I'm like, I respectfully choose to not answer that. Though likely, I've had one Red Bull and it is 7:04, so there's probably not a ton of questions that you could think to ask me that I just absolutely will not answer. So, we'll do this for as long as you so shall have me. These are the other places that you can find me if you think that I am interesting at all. So, let's get started. Ask away. Not all at once.
What kind of books do you write?
So actually, I'm not a novelist. I'm mostly a blogger. So, which I know on some places of the internet, like that's not real writing.
I'm a blogger too.
Air 5.
He is too. So.
Okay, one for you. Yeah! Yeah!
We're everywhere.
Yes.
You get a high five.
So because I blog, and I don't receive ad revenue, I can do whatever I want. So I think like throughout the month of November, we're gonna talk about like troublesome characters. We're gonna talk about cinnamon roll culture, and we're gonna talk about SJWs and Tumblr. So, so I basically write whatever I want. It is very much a kind of a ranty. I'm on my rag about Batman the Animated. We're gonna talk about how great Mask of the Phantasm is for 1,000 words. So that's kind of what I do. I come from a background of mostly like fiction, fan fiction, and poetry.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll still like write an emo poem, but those tend not to go on the internet because I have a real job and a boss that looks at my blog and he doesn't know how I feel about my ex. So, I would love to work on a book though. Like I do feel like I wouldn't be a terrible novelist. I don't think I'd be a good one. I don't think I'd be like a abjectly bad one. I mean, if 50 Shades of Grey can have 3 books, then I think I can do one.
Most authors say that it's more about marketing than it is about the writing.
True, and I do work in advertising.
There you go.
So, anything else? Keep it going. Hello. Don't be shy, guys. You have it for a little while.
What is cinnamon roll culture? I am increasingly curious.
So cinnamon rolls are pure and you must protect them. The problem is that it creates characters and series that you cannot critique at all. And that is, as someone who grew up in an internet and in a fan community that was, to put bluntly, hostile, is actually very frustrating. Because I was constantly attacked for what I liked, for what I believed, for what I shipped, for what I did. But now you can't critique something that is genuinely troublesome because popularity. So we're going to take down cinnamon roll culture a little bit. Actually, this month on my blog. Because I'm frustrated by it, frankly. Like, I'm not saying that the old way of doing things where you had, like, fan gating and stuff was any better. I'm definitely not saying that. But the fact that there are certain things that you cannot critique at all. Otherwise, you're a homophobe, or you're an Islamophobe, or you're a racist. Like, no, I'm literally not a racist. I just like strong storytelling. So that's a little bit of what cinnamon roll culture is. That's a Tumblr kind of thing. So don't feel bad if you don't know what that is. In fact,
Zero time on Tumblr.
Good. It's a part of the job now as a panelist and as a person who does this. Hello.
Hi, is this pattern making?
It is not.
Okay, pattern making is in here at 7.
I think that one was the one that got canceled, unfortunately.
Yeah, there should be an extra insert, a piece of paper.
Yeah, there's nothing about pattern making on it.
I'm sorry. I hate to disappoint.
No, I mean,
What's your one?
It's an Ask Me Anything.
Oh,
okay.
I do cosplay, so I mean, I don't know.
Okay, well, it's not a problem. I'm gonna ask, find out what's going on.
No worries. Hello. You can come in if you're curious.
Oh, what is this?
It's an Ask Me Anything. Hello. So,
Oh, we just got here, so we're gonna get an overall view of everything.
perfectly fine. Enjoy your stay. Anything else?
So what do you mean by troublesome characters?
So a troublesome character to me is one that you should not like. Like, they do really not great things, but the series continues to encourage you to root for them. If you are into comic books, I will say some of the fandom over, like, Harley Quinn and Joker is a little bit in that. Where, like, the way people fawn over, like, the Joker and Harley Quinn is, like, very unnatural to me. I love the Joker and Batman the Animated was, like, my thing. But, like, when you get people who are like, relationship goals, you should be just like the Harley Quinn and the Joker, like, no, you really shouldn't. So that's, like, a really good example of, like,
That's a really good example.
thank you. Like, you really shouldn't say that. And I actually get really frustrated. Like, I think I went on a rant because, like, it was Valentine's Day and, like, Suicide Squad was a thing. So I was like, relationship goals, Harley x Joker. Like, yeah, are we gonna ignore the part where he, like, beats a baby out of her? Are we gonna, like, not talk about that? Because if that's your relationship goal, there's a lot of counseling that I feel like you need. And, like, again, like, being a comic book fan, I'm very used to that, unfortunately. And that makes it difficult, again, to criticize other media. When you are so, I'm going to use this word, abused by characters, that you're used to that, it's hard to criticize the media around you. When that is the caliber of person that you're just used to, is, you know, your Jokers, your Red Hoods, your Batman with 15 guns.
Underground man kind of thing.
Yeah, you know, it's difficult then to hold your media to a higher standard of, like, hey, maybe maybe there can be a character who doesn't treat his lady like garbage. Maybe. Possibly. So, yes. I mean, it's an Ask Me Anything. You can literally ask me anything. Don't make this pretty makeup go to waste. That you can't take it. Start.
So, you said that the cinnamon roll like culture.
Mhm.
Like, is there an anime specifically
Yuri on
you
Ice.
have in mind?
Yuri on Ice. Absolutely.
Oh. Yeah, that one I do understand.
Thank you! You
Yeah,
cannot
I-
critique that one at all. And if
Yeah.
you do, you're a homophobe.
I'm unfamiliar.
Or you do
Good.
get the connection or whatnot.
Good.
Okay.
I am so envious of you.
I tell people they should watch it
Why?
because
Watch
they,
free. If
Well,
you want pointless
it's
gay
culture,
sports, watch
But
free.
it's one of those that you know what bad anime is. To me, it is. It's
I
like,
see. Okay, I'm gonna get really tsundere for like 5 minutes because to critique anything, I watch it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not coming from a place of I did not watch this thing at all. I finished it. So I come off really tsundere about it. I cannot and will not say it's bad anime. And if that is how you found yourself, I said this in my last panel, it is not my place to take that from you.
Yeah.
And I never will.
Yeah.
Do I hate that you cannot discuss it at all? 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's not perfect. It's not. It's fine, but it's not perfect.
So it's not even necessarily the quality, it's just the fact that you don't have any discussion.
Got it. That's cinnamon roll culture. Is that you cannot talk about this series with any amount of criticism at all, because then you're a homophobe, and you don't like diversity, and you don't like characters that have flaws. It's like, no, I love characters with flaws. I don't like pieces of wood. I don't like attractive pieces of wood. I don't like plot holes. I don't like animation that goes to hell halfway through the season because you blew it on one ice effect. I don't like those things. But I can't say those things because if I say those things, I don't like the gays. It's very frustrating. So yeah, Yuri on Ice. Actually, My Hero Academia a little bit is too, because like so many people are really into that. It's not like bad anime, but like there's a pocket that like found themselves in My Hero Academia, but like you cannot talk about it at all. It is the best shonen ever. Attack on Titan's another really bad one. Like, Attack on Titan's the new Evangelion. Like I thought Evangelion was the new Evangelion. Like did Evangelion stop being a thing?
Well, it died down. They tried to come back, and then
Sure. Oh, and I will be the first person to say the movies weren't good, but like this is a new Evangelion. Well,
no, you won't be the first person to say that the movies weren't good.
Thank you. Like,
And now you're at that pocket now where I think you can talk about it.
Yeah.
Because back when I was the movie came out, I was like,
yeah, you
oh, that
couldn't.
movie was so dumb. I was like,
No, it wasn't.
no,
Nah.
that was just a whole like jumble of someone ranting on a page to me.
I mean, that's how the author feels about us.
Yeah.
So I mean, but like, that's the thing is that you can't talk about Attack on Titan because it's like for some people like that was their first, so they defend it
It's very anti-Socratic.
remarkably, hilariously. And I mean, again, like I'm from an older generation of fan. Like to get into any comic book shop, like I had to like recite the Red Lantern Oath. Like I'm from an era of fans that had like fan gating and stuff. So like to not be able to have conversation, it's like, well, we can't talk about this because this. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you just say I can't talk about something? It's like that blows my mind that we're at this phase. Keep asking me stuff. I'm having fun.
What's your favorite RPG? Paper RPG.
Vampire the Masquerade.
Man, they had one, and I wanted to play it, but the GM didn't show up.
Am I old?
No, Vampire the Masquerade is very
I
popular.
was like, no.
Very popular RPG.
I loved Vampire the Masquerade until my family found out about the one murder that happened because of it. And then my family said I couldn't play it anymore.
It's called
And then-
Satanic Panic. It's something that happens to a lot of RPGs.
Well, Rod Farrell.
Mhm.
I don't know if you heard about that. So, Rod Farrell is a murderer. Met his girlfriend playing Vampire the Masquerade. She lived like in Florida, because of course Florida. He and his coven got in a car and decided we're gonna go murder my girlfriend's parents because they won't let us be together and be vampires. So Rod Farrell, New Age murder posse, get in their murder mobile, go to Florida, murder the girl's parents with like the accessories that go to your fireplace. And did
fire
like
pokers and
yeah,
stuff.
did vampire stuff, and then like bragged about it for like 3 days to like everyone that they talk, like every 7-Eleven, I killed someone, and then like, so they caught Rod Farrell, and of course like he blamed Vampire the Masquerade and he said he's an immortal vampire who's 3,000 years old and had like a weird like Latin name, and so everyone blamed Vampire the Masquerade for him being a sociopath. So that was the thing that happened in the 90s. So I wasn't allowed to play Vampire the Masquerade anymore after my family retroactively found out about this one really bad thing that happened in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then I just started lying about playing Vampire the Masquerade. Like, no, it's homework.
That's that happened with D&D.
Oh, yeah.
There's a kid who died in the sewers because he treated it like a dungeon. And he
Yeah!
got trapped down there.
I remember that.
Died. Yep.
So, yeah, Vampire the Masquerade. Keep it coming!
Nothing else
That was it?
for now. Yeah.
I've done good.
You did
That's
great. Your friend, though, I'm a little disappointed.
What recent RPGs have you played that you really found refreshing as far as the medium goes?
As you can tell, we're more RPGers.
I've noticed.
Anything.
So fun fact, I'm not super RPG, about as RPG as I get as like Pokemon. But I'm full disclosure about it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate
I don't
it.
think we can talk about this anymore.
That's fair. That's fair. But I will say, I do really like elements of like some of the Fire Emblem stuff. Like some of the newer Fire Emblem games I've played a little bit because I like Fire Emblem characters. So that's probably about as RPG as I get, unfortunately. It was just never my thing. Like, it's just, I'm evil, so if you give me that many options, my choice will be like a dictatorship. And I will find a way to like ruin as many lives and games as possible.
A good GM would roll with that.
I know, right? Bye!
There's a game called Magimonsters that's on Kickstarter
Yeah.
last Monday, and it's a high fantasy setting that actually is a copy of Pokemon. So, if you ever want a paper RPG that you might get into,
I'll keep that in mind. Like, it was just, it was one of those things that I think like I just missed that
Just barely.
because also like to rag on you guys a little bit, most RPG dudes are the worst.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say it. Like I love you guys, but like most
feedback.
RPG dudes are terrible and like don't want girls in their sausage party. So I kind of like didn't really try. It was already something that I didn't have a ton of interest in.
Yeah.
But then like didn't really try very hard to get into because every guy that I knew played it was garbage. So it was one of those things that like already didn't have a ton of interest, but then like everyone that I asked about it was a terrible person. So
I posted my wife playing 3.5, so
see, like that sounds nice. Like that sounds lovely.
it was lovely.
But like, yeah, like no, this was like the late '90s, early 2000s. So it's just like those like gross neckbeards who were just like, well, with your inferior girl brain, I'll be sure to explain it like this, like inferior girl brain. But then like, is the first person like, I don't know why I have a girlfriend. I'm such a nice guy. Those are my favorites. Those are my favorites. Those like neckbeardy comic book shop owners who were like, well, as a woman, you probably don't like real comics. You probably like look at the covers. I don't know why I'm still single though. I have no like. There's like it's like zombies. There's like a horde of girls just like clawing at the doors who can't get in because they won't let them in. Like, I have no idea why I can't get a date. It's like I wonder. I had to move on, dress and drag to get in to get served. I wonder why you don't have a girlfriend.
I mean, I'm a dude, so I unfortunately can't relate. I don't think I would like that to happen to me.
It's not fun.
I can imagine.
It's not fun. I mean, like it's definitely gotten a lot better, but like, yeah, there was an article. I think it was like girls just don't play games, and it's like, right? It's like I think like every woman in America just like we don't. What have I been doing all these years? Why are there 3 consoles in my bag right now?
I'd say the industry's changing a good bit, though. I mean, you look at there are famous like Critical Role. I think would be my favorite example.
Yeah.
It's like 50-50. You got a pretty
Yeah.
good spread, and people don't mind the girls playing either. So it's getting better. It's not there.
Yeah.
It's definitely not there.
No, if you take anything from my last panel is we've made a lot of strides. But but the fact that it took this long is concerning.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's like, I mean, again, I'm old. Theme of this con, I'm old. I'm glad that we're making these steps. I'm mad that it took this long.
Yeah.
Like, good that we're doing it. Good that, like, the kids after me and those kids will, like, have an infinitely easier time than I ever will have. That makes me happy. That, like, lightens my burden. But, like, I'm mad that it took this long.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way that I see it is just because gaming, especially tabletop and board gaming and things like that, they're not part of the mainstream medium. So terrible people can get away with things because it's not ever brought into the light because it's not a mainstream.
Well, actually, I do think, if I'm allowed to rant here a little bit, it is Ask Me Anything. I love and hate that we have mainstream culture judging weird stuff now. Like,
Yeah, with Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. But like, so I'll harp on Suicide Squad a little bit. That it was like, so as many like dumb Hot Topic girls was like, oh my god, I want to marry a guy like the Joker. There was like 15 like actual people who were like, that's really troubling, guys. Like, you get like that one attentive parent who's like, hey, no, I bought you tickets to this movie, but like, stop saying property of the Joker. That's concerning. You know, so we do have mainstream media critiquing these things now. And that's great in instances. It's bad when they take it out of context. A lot of anime is still taken out of context. Like there was I think it was like a Huffington Post article. It was like, lack of representation in Japanese anime. Like, I wonder
They're all Japanese.
I wonder
Right.
why a country of 99.9% Japanese people would have a difficult time representing the other races. I wonder why there would be a lack of diversity in this literal thing from Japan.
But it's an issue when America adapts a Japanese anime and it's all, like, not Japanese people, but it's set in Japan.
I
That's a problem. So it's a problem everywhere else.
I'll push back on whitewashing a little bit. There's a difference between me demanding there be black characters in anime than there are Asian actors and we refuse to pay them because they're not popular. Like, there's a difference. There is an absolute difference between me demanding that there be someone who looks just like me in Gravitation than there's literally 150 Asian actors who could have done Scarlett Johansson's job 15 times better.
I agree.
That's all I'll say. That there is a huge difference between whitewashing and demanding representation where it not need to be done. Hi, ask me questions. Hopefully not gross ones. Maybe gross ones.
Okay, so what you're really up about these gross questions. What kind of gross questions are people willing to ask you in a group full of other people? Is that a gross question?
And we would be surprised.
What? Okay. I don't go to. I went to San Japan once.
Oh, that's a vanilla one.
I worked at the mall at one San Japan, and I saw a dude who was dressed as not a dude get taken down and escorted by 3 security dudes.
That sounds great.
Oh, it was the most amazing thing ever. He
That
was
sounds
wearing
wonderful.
fishnet stockings and oh
He
wow.
probably looked good.
He didn't look bad honestly, but at the same time it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm a biological female on the internet, so the questions I get, I'll pose what do you think about this lengthy discussion about gender roles in media? Hey, what size your titties? It's
It's so unfair. I'm sorry.
are you like the apology for all men?
No, I have 3 sisters, and I'm the only guy on my entire dad's side of the family, and I just see that stuff happen, and I'm just oh
So,
my goodness.
No, trust. I say those things because it's reclaiming a thing. Because I'm a biological female on the internet. I will post an hour-long panel about the philosophy of Evangelion and be like, "You single?" Maybe? Can you at least ask a question about the thing that I did hours of research to cover before you try to slide into my DMs? At least mask you asking me out by hey, I really found your takedown of Shinji Ikari's clothing choices throughout the rest of the series really insightful. By the way, can you send me your underwear?
Well, in that case.
I was in that case, maybe. There'll be some dudes I don't know because I'm not sending you mine.
Buy a pack of underwear.
Do you want to ask me a question?
We've been hogging it up since your turn.
It's an ask me anything, so I'm really it's fine. And
What's a piece of work that you've been the most proud of?
that I've written?
That you've written or critiqued or created, any creation that you've made? Cosplay, anything.
At the risk of sounding egotistical, I think most of my panels are really, really good.
Yeah.
I did a characterization panel at ACON 2 years ago, that packed a room to the point that Fire Marshal was almost called. And I got a standing ovation for saying that a person should be more than their race. So I'm pretty proud of my panelist work. As far as my writing, some of the newer stuff on my blog I don't think sucks, but I do have that writer's problem that I could win awards for this and this is not garbage. So asking me what part of your writing do you like? None of it. The part that's in the trash. The part that's on fire right now. Like lava whip.
Well, writing's like working out. You just continue to get better at it, but you're always from a place where you're not as good.
I mean, I've never worked out in my life, obviously, so I'll accept that analogy for who he's talking to. But please know that I have 0 point of reference for what you're talking about. I am clearly fat and out of shape.
Fair enough.
Do you have a question for me, love?
Yes, I do. Do you ever think about just doing under a pen name? That way your boss won't see your shit. You can just say whatever the hell you want.
I do.
That.
I'm not worried about it, honestly. At this point, actually, my fan fiction will be buried with me. It will be printed out meticulously, and it will go in my coffin with me. Because I want it to be like Kikyo from Inuyasha, where I'm just surrounded by all of my earthly possessions, and I will go out full on. You will bury it and it will rot with my body. Because no one deserves to see the fan fiction I started when I was in high school. And finished when I was like 25.
These details have been written out for me.
It is in my will. It is, I update my will once a year. It is in my will. Keep asking me stuff.
So considering the theme of the con and the rise of cinema culture, what would you say? What would you recommend for new people today?
I mean, the thing is that I wouldn't not recommend any of the things that I said. I would just not talk to anyone about it. Like, I would say, yeah, watch Yuri on Ice. Don't mention that you're watching it. I would say, like, watch Attack on Titan. Just know that it's probably kind of garbage. But, like, a lot of the newer stuff, My Hero Academia is not bad. Start with that if you need to. Or, if anything, as an old person, go back and watch the classics. Watch Naruto. Watch your Bebops. Watch your Inuyasha. Know it's garbage. Just sit back, enjoy. Anime is vast. You will find something that you like.
It's kind of like watching cheesy horror movies sometimes. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes you just, hey, it's brainless, you know it,
Yeah.
but you enjoy it.
Absolutely.
You enjoy the cheese factor.
Yeah, like, no, I mean, I go back every once in a while and I watch the things that I loved as a kid, and, like, I cannot in good faith say Gravitation is good. That's a lie if I say it is, but was it deep as hell to me at 16 years old and angsty? Yeah. Was it the most morally resonant thing that I read at 16? Yeah. Can I say that, like, this is a deep, profound, good series now at 27? Not really smit. I'd be a liar if I did. Do you have a question for me? That's fine. This was to fill a little bit of space, so worst case scenario, this doesn't last forever, and I'm okay with that. What matters is that you guys had a good time, and we didn't leave an entirely blank space in the schedule, because there's been some cancellations from what I heard. So this is super last minute for everyone, and I'm thankful for the behavior. So, if you do want to ask me stuff, cool. If not, I'll probably stick around still. Just continue to exist in this world. Otherwise, you can keep them coming. Do you have anything else? That's fair. I had fun. And like I said, I'll probably stay at this room a while longer. So, not kicking you out or anything, but we'll probably end the recording here. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. And I have 2 panels in this room tomorrow. We're doing How to Be a Panelist and Writing Female Characters. 4 and 5:30, back to back. So if you're curious about any of those topics, I do definitely encourage you to hang out and spend a little time being a better consumer of media. You want to turn it off for me?
So
You can still ask.
the question I got was more of like